conference host, K. Darren Turnquest. Darren is an effective communicator with strong team collaboration skills. He's a business expert with a focus on youth development, a skilled public speaker who's delivered speeches in local and international arenas. Darren is well known in the Bahamas and throughout the Caribbean as an energetic, charismatic host who can captivate an audience. Darren is employed at BTC as Senior Manager of Direct Sales, Sales Effectiveness, and Fixed Products.
Thank you for joining us on this wonderful Friday morning. Welcome to the final session of our Innovation Conference Series 2020. I am going to miss you all. Amazing real-world business solutions brought to you by BTC Business, Cable and Wireless Business, and Flow Business. I have no clue where I'm going to be next Friday as we conclude this fantastic series. This has been an invigorating series, and definitely I know that we have so much more to look forward to in 2021. More importantly, I look forward to what you will do with all that you've learned. But let's get this show started. Last week, we featured the Executive Director of the Bahamas National Trust, who talked about the wonderful work that the Trust is doing and how business has evolved over the years. What was most fascinating to me is how they are reinventing the business to host virtual tours and events. We were excited to hear from international speaker Caroline Green, who shared insights on her brow business and how she created and packaged her own line of beauty products. We were also privileged to listen to international speaker Latoya Westbrooks, who is the senior researcher at Facebook and owns her own small business. Latoya is of Bahamian heritage, and she created a consulting firm in New York to help small businesses evolve and grow revenue. This week is an action-packed one, and I'm sure that you are just as excited as I am to be with us, and so I am so excited to host you while you join us. As mentioned, we have much information to impart and a great lineup of guests today. We're happy to welcome back Jensen Sylvester, who's the head of B2B for South Caribbean. He is here today with the sales manager for the small and medium enterprise businesses for Cable and Wireless Business with responsibilities for Trinidad, and her name is Miss Denisha Hamilton. We also have the illustrious Jillian Wilson from Summit Academy, and also the owner of Movi Group in studio, Mr. Burton Wallace, who's actually going to move from behind the scenes to sit and talk with us today in front of his own cameras. As you know, the Movi Group has produced the entire Innovation series and so many other large-scale events that I've had the privilege of actually hosting. I'm excited to hear from international speaker, attorney James Walker, who is an entertainment lawyer in Atlanta. We have so many talented persons throughout the region who are looking for opportunities to expand. Attorney Walker will give us insights on how to achieve this fantastic goal. I'm super thrilled to hear from Willie Ray J. Norwood. I feel like Ray J is one of our own, as we've watched him evolve from the rap game to acting and to a giant in the business world. As we all know, Ray J is the owner of Raycon, a company that is making strides in the field of technology. As promised, today is going to be an exciting show, so let's get started. Please help me welcome in studio today, Mr. Andre Knowles, our BTC business lead. Andre, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is the final show. I mean, I think I even made a little blurb just now in terms of your name, but how do you feel about all that's taken place in the last 4 weeks, culminating to this?
The sudden change.
Feelings, because I'm overwhelmed right now.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Darren. I personally have been inspired. Last 4 weeks have been, truly fantastic. We are making a difference in the small business world. The local speakers, the regional, the international speakers, they each brought something to the local business market and certainly the markets within the region. Just taking a little nugget or something from each one of these speakers is simply all we're trying to do. We're just trying to provide them with a little bit more, an idea. And I think your favorite term is like a little nugget of information.
Exactly.
Something that they could go back to on their business to make their business a little bit more, competitive. These are trying times, very challenging times. And I think over the past 4 weeks, and I'm no doubt today will be the same, with our speakers, providing that element, that idea, something that they could take away, that's invaluable. And a perfect example of that are the folks who have won these 30-minute sessions with some of our speakers.
Yeah.
Where else can you get that? You can't get that anywhere else, other than the Innovation Conference. I am sure those folks who have those 30-minute sessions with the speakers, I mean, that's invaluable to them. I'm positive they are going to make a huge difference in the way that they reinvent their business and themselves as well to be competitive. So I'm thrilled.
And, I think it's so important for us to track some of our participants who've, been a part of the series from, of course, the inaugural series that took place in 2020, now over to 2021, where you've been able to expand to, so many other markets in the region as well. But, there's been so much information provided, so much fantastic nuggets. I'm still stuck on Michelle Hoskins. I think Michelle was our first international speaker out of the gate. And, every day that you wake up, you decide your own destiny.
Absolutely.
And I've held on to that. What do you say to, the small businesses out there, based on what you've heard for, the last 4 weeks and what you think they should expect coming next year as a part of this conference?
Well, I think the biggest advantage that we have had this year is, though it is virtual, this is the 5th week. If we had one live show, it would have been a 2 or 3 hour production. Mind you, it would have been fantastic as well. But because it was virtual this year, we have been able to provide a host of speakers. We've been able to extend it.
Yeah.
I could guarantee you next year, if we get through this pandemic, or I should say, as we get through this pandemic, there will be another element of virtual next year as well, even though we'll be live, because we're able to bring in so many more speakers. The exposure is so much more, get more people involved. So whilst we may have an in-house, there'll certainly be a virtual. I think our biggest aim here is to have the biggest impact on as many small businesses as we can. And I'm sure we've had it so far over the past 4 weeks, and I'm sure today is going to be, just the same.
And I noticed today on our lineup, we have RBC that's in the house as well. And, I've recognized what you've done in this lineup is not only provide nuggets by way of the speakers, but also provide the resources necessary so that small businesses are able to get the information readily available to them. And so, kudos to you and your team. Anything you want to say to your team this morning?
Well, I'm going to save that for the end. However, I mean, obviously, it's just not myself. And you know that, Darren.
Correct.
Both myself and you and the whole BTC is supported by a fantastic team. The B2B team has done a tremendous job. In fact, we'll have Naja back out here today as well, who leads the small business team. But I have Trevor, who leads the enterprise team, and a wealth of other managers and the supporting staff. Fantastic job. But I'm going to save that for later.
Right, and also your colleagues in the region as well. But you held out on me, and I'm going to hold this against you, right? I mean, Tennille and Naja came out last week and spoke about the CVP. And, me being responsible for residential products for BTC, along with my colleague Colette, we were looking at the small business CVP and thinking, why did they not let us know that this was what they were doing? You were able to accomplish something amazing. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, I think that we had to get to the point where to make a huge difference to the business community.
Good morning.
And the
referring to
CVP being led by Tennille,
I said this lady's
and the
gonna hit
SMB
us
by
up
Naja.
with
It came to the
email
point
in
where
10
how
seconds
can we
because
make
you haven't
a big
PS'd
difference? Not just
to
a
say,
small
PS, I know you're
difference.
waiting for
How
this,
can
blah,
we
blah,
put
blah, it's coming,
something out there that is a
Try to cut
no-brainer,
out the third
that
sentence.
makes it such that any small business, should pick up the phone and give us a call by saying, I need that. I need that sense of reliability. I need that powerful bandwidth.
Okay, well, if you PS her and you don't carbon me, how do I know it's
megs
done?
Bandwidth. You can't
Cut
get
out the
that
third
anywhere
sentence.
else.
Get
If you
No,
want
no,
your
no,
business, if
I'm
your
not
business is reliant on internet, you have to get this new CVP. And along with that, as well as business class service, we're elevating the way that we deal with our customers. Extremely important. So that's probably the biggest part. along with all of this, we're going to put in a nice little big wrapper
Right.
of business class service. So I could not be more pleased.
Well, let me also commend you. I noticed you have on pink today, and I have on pink as well, of course, in recognition of October National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So definitely two strong men having on pink, representing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fantastic lineup for you. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Picture this. Internet for your bakery to receive orders online while customers share your goodness on the spot. Unlimited mobile calls to talk to all the business you need and data to do business anywhere. BTC Business understands the big picture and has a small business solution with big value for you. Go digital with fast internet, unlimited local calls, data, smartphone discounts, and more for as low as $99 a month. Visit btcbahamas.com to sign up now. Conditions apply.
Enjoy all the extra perks of BTC's new business mobile plans. Every new line added includes a free new smartphone packed with unlimited local calls, international and roaming minutes, plus local and roaming data to stay connected to your business. Sign up and switch now for as low as $49.99 per month and get handset discounts for life. Have your team do more and work smarter on the best 4G LTE network with BTC's new business mobile plans. Conditions apply.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Of course, if you are joining us from any of the markets from around the region, we just ask you to drop a comment, drop a like, hit the heart button. Make sure that we are aware that you're connected with us. A fantastic lineup. But I'm so happy to have back with me a beautiful lady in studio. Of course, Najra, you've been hard at work. Of course, putting out the new CVP, working closely with our customers. Your team is on the ground,
They are.
action-oriented. How do you feel so far, looking so amazing in studio?
Thank you so much, Darren. I am excited. I am more excited than I was last week, if that is even possible. I say this every week, but we're very excited with the launch of the CVP. The team is energized. We're on the ground. We're taking our calls. We're consulting with our customers. They're responding. It's exciting, and we're just very, very pumped and ready to go.
Well, we have a special guest in studio today, and I have known her personally for a number of years. She's like a big sister to me. Of course, I was in a particular place of employment. I came after she left, and to recognize also that she made this big jump into entrepreneurship. Of course, a great BTC customer. We're going to get to learn more about Jillian Wilson, who is the CEO / principal / everything you could think about in Summit Academy. And we're going to find out more about her with this feature video.
My name is Jillian Wilson. I am the founder and the principal of Summit Academy. And Summit was established in 2003.
I'm here. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm playing the show and
for schools to offer individualized attention. And so I took the risk and started the school, and here we are 18 years later.
I'm watching the show as I told you I was going to do. And I was talking real fast so I could get back to the show.
Summit
I'm trying to answer your question. Your question on your text message was, what am I referring to?
So all of our students starting at grade 4 prior to the pandemic,
make sure you carbon me so I know that you got back
they are on laptops daily. We've also incorporated quite a bit of technology.
Right. I was asking.
Department ranging from
okay, but that's
coding, to basic.
But that's not a bad question. I'm saying, how will I know it's done?
It may have perhaps come from younger students who may not have been used to using devices in school on a daily basis. But our kids are digital natives, right? So you put a device in their hand and they seem to know how to use it. But overall, I think the transition is great. We've obviously added many more components, having returned from the fall of 2020.
I said it louder because I was talking to the young lady speaking, but I didn't say it louder like, how would I know? It wasn't said like that, so please apologize. No, but it wasn't said like that. It was just.
So Summit Academy has been a proud customer of BTC for many, many years. And
but I didn't have a
use
TV
our
show
internet
running.
obviously
I
on a
didn't have a
daily
TV
basis.
show. I wasn't in the middle
On
of
any
the
given day, if
conference.
school were in session, we can have upwards
No, but I'm
90,
trying to explain to you.
individuals between teachers and students on devices. And again, we are able to work seamlessly throughout the day. The students are able to work online. We have Smartboard. smart boards in all of our classrooms, so teachers also have those running. But I think we've been most grateful for the ability to maintain our distance learning program, obviously through the use of our fiber optic internet that we have here at Summit Academy. Okay, so first of all of our students, whether they are 3 years old or whether they are 12 years old, so K through 8 or preschool through 8, are all involved in some form of online learning on a daily basis. Today, we welcome back our first set of face-to-face students, and that meant that the teacher had to teach not only the students that were present in the class, but also the students that were at home. But I'm happy to say that we've had a great day. I think the children transitioned quite seamlessly, and the teachers, of course, being the pros that they are, seem to have managed the distance learning quite well.
And we're back. Jillian, welcome in studio. I've known you for so many years as a personal friend, so I get confused between Jillian, the formal Jillian, or Jill, but I'm going to call you Jill today. First of all, it is amazing from, a fantastic intellect, Bahamas beauty queen, to entrepreneur, to so many different things that you've done. Tell me, how did this all happen for you?
So after completing my graduate studies, it was very important for me to come back to the Bahamas in order to contribute to our educational system. And so I started working at an international school upon my return. But I always made it very clear that it was, never my intention to stay in the classroom. I really had the desire to move to to an administrative position, and also I wanted to be able to write policies, really. And so after 3 years, I decided to start Summit Academy. So we started off very, very small with 21 students, and today we have 170 students 18 years later. So it's definitely been a very interesting but worthwhile journey.
And when you talk about 171 students, that's definitely by choice as well. Having come out of the education system, referring students to your school as well, I know that you keep a very tight limit on how many students you're able to accept to give that quality education. Doing this work and looking at, the capital, looking at, marketing, looking at getting into that niche brand of education. People say that there's so many schools around. How did you make this different? How did you make Summit the brand that it is today?
Well, I think, let me just begin by saying that although there are many schools, I would say that there are never enough good schools. All right. And I think that goes for any profession. So when I established Summit, I was really wanting to fill a much needed niche that we had, that was lacking on the island, which was the ability for schools to offer individualized education. And I have always strived, as best I can, to deliver to our school community the benefits that come along with a small school community. And so what does that mean? It means that students and parents alike can access their child's teachers or teachers easily. It means that as a principal, I have the ability to build a great relationship with all of the members of our school community. And most importantly, it means that because of our small class sizes, that we are really able to tap into the potential of each child. Whether they are a child, whether it's someone that's academically gifted, or whether it's a child that needs a little bit more support, we are really able to meet kids, on both ends of the spectrum. I would like to add, however, that even though we may get some kids that experience a challenge initially, because we're not a special education school, we are a regular education school, but because of the individualized approach that we take and because of the personalized attention, we are really able to get our kids performing, at their very best. And we are very, very pleased that as a small school, we've actually been able to make big strides within the field of education.
I've had a tour of your school before. I've spoken to your school's graduation. I've actually come into the classroom to do some discussions about my actual profession, psychology, and I noticed that there's a big push towards technology. Of course, you spoke about that in the feature video in terms of a laptop or a tablet being in the hands of every student. How important has that been in terms of this major pivot in the midst of this pandemic?
Well, I think, for Summit Academy, our goal has always been to deliver a world-class education to our students. Even though we're on this small island, it doesn't mean that our students should not be prepared to effectively compete against their peers on the other side of the world. Mm-hmm. I often tell parents, really don't think about your child at the age that they are now. Think about when they're trying to get into a top tier university, for example, when they're 18 years old. So, we would be doing our students a disservice if we did not introduce them to technology. And we've been doing this for several years. So very, very important. And this brings in the BTC issue, is that we really would not have been able to do as much as we have been doing, certainly over the past few years, if we had not had access, for example, to the bandwidth. We use internet
fire speeds
every day. Mm-hmm. And because we've adopted an international curriculum, I think one of the most one of the greatest things that we've been able to do is to liaise with other classrooms that are located in other parts of the world. I mean, for example, the other day I had a group of kids that were learning about dinosaurs, and we were able to interview an archaeologist.
Wow.
And so, and we're communicating with classrooms in England and, school in Africa.
Wow.
So it really, it's just, it causes the borders to disappear.
It's the power of technology,
absolutely,
right? Yeah.
Absolutely. And we've seen the benefits with our children and the confidence that they have with technology in particular.
As you're having this discussion with me, I see Naja is glowing, absolutely glowing, because of course you have one of our, SMBs that's, actually speaking to the truth of how effective this technology is to not only impact the business, because that's essential, but to impact the lives of our young people. Naja, what does this do for you right now?
Yeah, it's exciting. And just, when the commercial was playing a little while earlier, she whispered to me, "Do I need that?" And so I was telling her, we'll talk about it afterwards.
Exactly.
So we'll have a consultation with her later on. But yeah, she's one of our customers who we know she needs to be up all the time. Mm-hmm. So we have a dedicated resource for her. And she liaises with them all, all through the day. If there's something that goes down, we give her the attention that she needs right away to bring her back up. So she's one of our.
And Jillian, with the way the pandemic is going, we don't know whether or not we're going to be locked down one day, released the next day, whether or not our young people are going to be allowed to go into school. And Naja, it brings me to this point of, the packages that's there that have the dongles attached to it, that have the LTE boxes attached to it. So you have Jillian, who have teachers in the school that might not be able to have, high speeds in certain areas, that might be able to use their dongles to stay connected to class and stay connected to students. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic. So Jillian, one of the questions I have for you is, moving away from the traditional 9-to-5 job and making that leap into owning your own business, a young woman who steps out and grabs, managing and owning a school on her own. How difficult was it for you to make that decision?
Well, the decision to do it wasn't very difficult. The preparation was. It literally took me 2 years of planning on a daily basis to actually launch the school. And, along the way, I've had some wonderful mentors who have helped, who've been able to help me. I think of Lisa McCartney, for example. And I went to her on, many occasions and said, listen, what kind of help can you give? And she was always so generous with her advice. And, it's been a constant, I've had to constantly upgrade. I shared with you that I'm back in school again.
Harvard University, yes.
I am doing another master's, and this time I am really focusing on building my business acumen and also my leadership skills. Mm-hmm. My first master's degree was centered in education. And so I'm really at the stage now in my business life where I'd really like to expand into other areas. And so I feel very strongly that I need additional training in order to do that well. And I will add that, running a business during this period has been very difficult. And the fiscal management of schools, I think globally has certainly, I can assure you, is at the forefront of every school director's mind right now. But, I want to encourage other entrepreneurs. I started my business at 25. And at the end of the school year, we would have completed our 19th year.
Wow.
Which is good.
Wow. 25 years old, you stepped out.
25 years old. And I started the process at 23. But also, I had the opportunity to sit on the board of a school for 3 years. That helped. And I took advantage. I mean, I've always taken advantage of any leadership opportunity presented to me. So, all of those things came together so beautifully. I had a wonderfully supportive husband who said, listen, we're going to put some of our goals to the side in order for you to do this. So I had to get my business plan together. I had to rewrite my business plan. My parents said, listen, we've given you the best education that we could afford. I came out of Vanderbilt, which at the time was #1 in education. And my dad says, listen, it's up to you now. So I had to go to the bank, I got a loan, I started the school, I had to get a larger loan the next year because we literally tripled our population in the space of one academic year. And we've continued to grow ever since. And, we've capped our enrollment because we want to remain a small school. We don't want to, we don't want to become another school that already exists. And like I said, our results have been fantastic. We've been able to compete with the best of the schools here on the island, and our kids have come out on top. So obviously we're doing something right. We have a good formula, and we don't want to veer too far from that.
What I find most powerful about what you've been talking about today is the fact that you took on mentorship and, getting mentorship from an individual who owns her own school. And it's so important to see that when we have that collaboration, not competition, but collaboration, because everybody knows that there's enough space in the sector for everyone to have a piece of the pie. But sometimes we are so blocked off because, that person is our competitor, but we don't often recognize that there's such great beauty in the collaboration, sharing of ideas, and that coaching that's required for us to step up. And you also said, you upgrade it. Right? Education never stops. And for some people, it could be, a master's degree. For some people, it can be a certification. For some people, it can just be a professional development course. And I think all of these things are really, really, really powerful. But most of all, BTC has been important in terms of how you've been able to effectively work through this pandemic through reliable technology. Any final words, Jillian?
Well, I just want to say thank you to BTC for being so supportive. I do remember on the first day that we opened our business, we actually got our phones installed. And to me, that just meant that we were official. And you will understand that communication is very important also for our parents. In the event, a child becomes ill, or if, parents always want to know that that the school is available if they need to get in touch with them while we are in possession of their children. And then just seeing the transition. Obviously, when we opened, our needs were very different than they are today. And BTC has been there every step of the way. We had a few challenges when we had to transition to online learning because we needed, for example, to increase our bandwidth. And I have to tell you that literally on the day that I made that call, Mrs. Finlayson called me back, and we got the services that were required. And as a result of that, we did not experience a disruption in the education that we were delivering to our students. So thank you.
Come on now, come on. I mean, exactly what the new CVP said, it would be more reliability, more convenience for the customer. Jillian, I thank you so much. First of all, we commend you for the fantastic work that you're doing, impacting the lives of so many young people in our country, not only in your school, but also in the wider Bahamas, and also every success as you take this new academic journey yourself.
Thank you, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, next up, we're going to have Jensen Sylvester and his team, but right before that, we're going to be taking our commercial break. See you at the end of this commercial break.
As business leaders, we learn to forecast for our businesses. When we try to predict market trends, we hope for the best outcome. However, as much as we forecast and create projections, there are some events for which we just can't prepare. Sometimes because it never occurred to us, sometimes because we just thought it couldn't happen to me. Unfortunately, when disaster strikes, It does not discriminate by size or even type of business. It can happen whether you expect it or not. Fortunately, you are not alone. We at C&W Business can help you prepare for disasters. With our disaster recovery as a service solution, we'll ensure your business is back in operation fast. Because being prepared is the best strategy.
Picture this: internet for your bakery to receive orders online while customers share your goodness on the spot. Unlimited mobile calls to talk to all the business you need and data to do business anywhere. BTC Business understands the big picture and has a small business solution with big value for you. Go digital with fast internet, unlimited local calls, data, smartphone discounts, and more for as low as $99 a month. Visit btcbahamas.com to sign up now. Conditions apply.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Now I have in studio the dream team. Of course, Andre and Naja. Listen, first of all, let me just commend you all on the fantastic work that you've done. I think Jillian has expressed the importance of what it is to see the responsiveness for our small businesses in our community and the power that's been not only to, we think about healthcare, we think about major banks, but sometimes we don't think about our education system and how vital technology has been for education. Andre, you heard those words, of course. You've been in studio. How does that make you feel? I'm using my psychological background now.
Well, it makes me feel fantastic. It makes me, you know, to have such an impact. So when you're providing services to a business that is providing services to the community and to the children, I mean, that's powerful. So really, really makes me feel inspired about this whole idea about the CVP and just simply providing the service. Very, very impactful for Jillian and her kids.
And, you know, Naja, what I think Jillian spoke to is the importance of the business partners, the business partners that you have that's connected to each business, who's able to be responsive to the needs of these small businesses in a timely fashion. You know, let us just tell our customers and potential customers out there, you know, what that business partner relationship looks like.
Oh, it's everything. I mean, especially now with our small businesses being in the situation that they are in, we don't want them to have to be, you know, in a queue for any reason because they need to be connected at all times. So our business partners are their first point of contact, and the business partners are always available to them, and they're very knowledgeable about the products and services and the processes to get things done very, very quickly. So everything that we need to do to make sure that their services aren't disrupted, we know how to do it, and we have a wonderful support team in our service delivery team and our customer care team. So we have a team that actually supports us and gives us the opportunity to do what we do the way that we do it.
And, you know, we have some of our colleagues in the region. Of course, this kind gentleman has been here with us before, but I'm going to now bring into studio with us virtually Mr. Jensen Sylvester. Jensen, are you there?
I am here. All right, how are you?
You know, I'm doing fantastic, Jensen. You've been up to some good things. And, you know, you joined us, I think, in the second week or the first week of the series. How has it been? And, you know, what has been the response of the people in Barbados about this entire innovation conference?
It's been great. And, you know, you guys have hit the nail on the head with the title of the conference. It's all about innovation, especially in this difficult time. It's been a tough year for everybody. And so as a business, we are continuing to lead the charge in terms of innovating for our customers. So the feedback has been really good.
You know, and you are a true regional man, of course. And, you know, last time you had a team, of course, that represented the Southern cluster for cable and wireless. At this particular point now, you have another grouping of individuals who will join you today. Introduce your team members.
Well, I mean, we're all part of the Southern Caribbean team for our B2B business. We all work together across the region, and that's the power of our company, right? So whether you sit in Bahamas or you sit in Trinidad, you know, we're all one team. I happen to represent the Southern Caribbean at the moment. That includes Trinidad. And so online, we have Denisha, who is leading the charge for our SMB innovation and push in Trinidad.
Morning,
so,
everyone.
You know, Denisha, welcome. You are all the way in Trinidad and Tobago. I hope that I am going to be there in 2020 21 in the middle of the road for Carnival. Even if I have to get a small business in Trinidad to be there, definitely ask Jensen to find some excuse to get me in Trinidad and Tobago. So Denisha, we're going to come to you in just 2 seconds, but Jensen, tell us what is happening in the South Cluster for small and medium businesses, and what are you up to? At one particular point, two weeks ago, there was a secret that you had in the bag. I'm not certain if there's another secret for small, medium businesses that you have for Trinidad and Tobago, but I'm open to hearing more about what's going on there.
No secrets for Trinidad, for what we're doing in Trinidad, Darren. Very much in line with our underpinning theme, very much like we're seeing in Bahamas, really representing for our small businesses in the region. And what we're doing in Trinidad is just another step in leading the way for making sure that we are delivering the right types of innovative services and solutions for our SMB segment in that market. My good friend, Mr. Knowles, outlined it really well. SMBs are the lifeblood of all of our markets throughout the Caribbean. And so in Trinidad, led by Denisha and team, we have a lot of energy, a lot of focus in making sure that we deliver these innovative solutions to the SMB market in Trinidad.
So Denisha, I've been to Trinidad and Tobago. What percentage of Trinidad is made up of small and medium businesses? And what exactly are you doing in Trinidad and Tobago to assist these particular businesses in terms of technology?
Denisha, are you there?
So Jensen,
right. So I mean, very much like the rest of the region, SMBs make up the lion's share of the businesses in Trinidad, not just by number, but also by contribution to GDP. So some 70% of the businesses by number in Trinidad are SMBs. And what are we doing for them? As mentioned, we're really driving innovation into the SMB market in Trinidad. We're launching the Flow Business brand there. We're delivering speeds never seen before in Trinidad. So our customers can get up to 500 megs in our premium package for the SMB market. So we're delivering 3 packages with internet, voice, and smart solutions. I think what's really critical is the fact that we're delivering these smart solutions. And they are a key differentiator for us. Separate and apart from the innovation around our internet and our voice services, these smart solutions are really demonstrating that we're going to be there for our SMB customers, particularly in this difficult time. So we're delivering website and online store services. So allowing our SMBs to deliver e-commerce. And many of these SMBs don't have the skills in-house to be able to do that. And so we're providing that as part of our service. Digital Help Desk. Again, our new Digital Help Desk helps us to offer remote tech assistance from our expert teams around the region. I mean, a massive differentiator for us, for those small businesses who may be struggling, as I said, with the resources needed to deliver a true digital business. Email services, e-marketing services, cloud storage, and of course, security. So these smart solutions, to me, provide the true innovation as we deliver to our SMBs to help them get through this difficult time, but also position their businesses for the future, Darren.
And I know we have Denisha back. Denisha, you have anything to add on to what your colleague has just provided in terms of information of what is in the pipeline for Trinidad and Tobago?
Yeah, so Jensen is absolutely correct. Innovation is where it's at right now. Our SMB market in Trinidad, because for an example, when COVID hit, and in Trinidad we were on lockdown, businesses weren't allowed to open for 3 months. We had our SMB customers calling us, panicked, how they're going to generate revenue, what are we going to do? And we're telling them, well, listen, you have to go online. You need to create social media pages. You need to create an online presence. And our sales staff was actually helping them set up, try as best as they could. We were putting them on to persons who can create websites for them, putting them on to persons who could assist with social media creation. And so I'm really happy that we took all that information and we saw firsthand that the SMB sector in Trinidad is definitely in need of all these wonderful smart solutions that Jensen just spoke about.
And I want to dig a little deeper about smart solutions, Denisha, because I'll share with you, in another place that I used to work, I recognized very easily that Trinidad and Tobago, in terms of its cultural brand, but in terms of its export to the region, is really, really, really vital. When I look at a lot of businesses in terms of, I do Junkanoo here, but ordering pieces and ordering materials from vendors in Trinidad and Tobago, you would see that there's a Facebook page or there's an Instagram page. But I like what you talked about, connecting the e-commerce aspect of that. What is it that's being offered technology-wise that can assist some of these businesses to facilitate that e-commerce using this digital footprint?
Yeah. So our website creation, and there's a product that we have, a solution that allows us to merge both social media pages as well as your online website. So
wow.
If it is that a customer is, for example, myself, my daughter goes online all the time. She's looking for a phone just the other day, and she's on Instagram, and she would see a particular page. She came, she said, "Mommy, look, this phone looks great." And just below the picture, it says shop here, and you click shop here, and it took you to the website of that particular business, right? So we're trying to create and allow for all the SMB businesses within Trinidad to have that facility where the customers will be shopping at your business 24/7. They're not limited to only coming in when your doors are open from 8 to 4. So, and this will definitely drive additional revenue for all businesses.
And so the key here, Denisha, if I'm hearing you correct, is not only to provide a product to your small and medium businesses in Trinidad and Tobago, but also to be able to provide business solutions to each and every customer that you have and potential customers. Anything in particular that you would like to say to your customers who are out there, your potential customers, to have them come on in and check out some of your information?
So I want to say to them, listen, we understand this is a critical time for us all, both SMBs, the world in total, but SMBs are critical to the Caribbean economy. And we want them to know that they need to evolve. We understand they need to evolve, and we're ready to evolve with them. We're ready to assist and support the SMB sector through this particular change. And we understand this means that everyone needs to do things a little differently. So the information we received from them over the past couple months, we were able to create these smart solutions that will allow them to continue operating as a business, to keep their staff, that they don't have to downsize, and to take some worry off their shoulders. We are here to partner with you. We're here to support you. We're here to be your partner in creating and in growing your business and to keep your business thriving. So absolutely, Flow Business is definitely ready and confident to play the role of a support and partner with our SMB sector.
Well, Denisha, I know that I'm going to track you down in 2021 so that you can be my not virtual tour guide, but my in-person tour guide when I hit the streets of Trinidad and Tobago.
Not a problem.
But can you give your customers a way to get in contact with you or reach you or any of your colleagues in the Trinidad and Tobago office, your website, any information that people can go and log on to right now?
Yes, so you can definitely, we created a specialized team ready to take these customers take our businesses calls, and that number is 224-2677, right? And you will and the response time is great on that particular queue. You can also visit our Flow website, right? So that's www.flowbusiness.co, where you will see all the solutions that we just spoke about. The customers can contact us through that website as well. You send us an email. The turnaround time for those emails is within 24 working hours. So those are the ways that in which our business, our existing SME sectors can contact us.
All right, Jensen, you have been indeed a busy man in the South. Any final words from you? Anything that you would like to tell your team, your customers there in our Southern cluster of cable and wireless?
Sure, Darren, thanks a lot. And it's really a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me back. Look, Flow Business, it's more than just a brand, more than just a set of solutions and 24/7 support. It really represents a new way for us to do business with our SMB customers. And so from the ground up across the region, we really are pivoting to making sure that we are delivering the right set of services and solutions to our SMB customers. And to the internal team, I'm just so proud and honored to work with you guys. Again, my good friend Andre Knowles said it well. It's not just me. I don't do much. It's really the team across the region in Trinidad, Barbados, St. Lucia, all over, really working hard. And of course, in our central teams in Miami, all working together to make sure that we're delivering the best services to our customers.
Well, Jensen, it's definitely always a pleasure to have you in the Bahamas, whether it's in person or virtually. We thank you so much for joining us, not only on one of these episodes, but also 2 of the episodes for the Innovation Conference series. Andre, you have heard from your colleague over there in the Southern Caribbean. How is it that we're able to come together and really provide some of these quality CVPs for our customers?
I think you just said it. Because we are all part of cable and wireless, we're not reinventing the wheel here. We were able to take full advantage of what all of our other companies are doing as well. And this is a major push, not only by BTC, but by C&W as well. I think we all recognize, as Jensen said, the small business community makes up the lion's share of all businesses, and they drive the economy. They are crucially important to us, and C&W recognize that. And to our benefit, to BTC's benefit, and to C&W's benefit, we were able to put a lot of these CVPs together over the past few months and introduce them in all of the different jurisdictions. So we're all taking advantage of it now. And even the support aspect of it, because we're all one big, large group, we're able to leverage our sister companies, their support teams as well, for the benefit of all of our local communities as well.
Quicker, better, easier, all through collaboration, right? Naja, I heard from Denisha. She's sitting in a very similar seat that you are sitting in. And what I think I got most excited about was the bridge between websites and social media sites and kind of putting those together so it's just one click. These are some exciting times.
Yeah. It is. And one thing that she said that I want to pick up on is the fact that, she said that we've all been thrown in this together at the same time. And so nobody was really prepared for it. But I want to say, being a part of the cable and wireless company, the support that they gave to us, the employees and the people who sit in these positions, because the education that they pushed out to us, for us to be able to better serve our customers, is really important. And I mean, not just the managers, it was the salespeople. So we're continually learning because they're pushing more and more education through our digital e-learning platform. And I think that is absolutely invaluable at this point for us.
All right. Thank you so much, Naja. And I think you've summed it up pretty much. Stronger together. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have James Walker in the house, and we'll hear from him right after this commercial break.
Digital banking, online, RBC. RBC banking, online, pay your bills anytime.
RBC digital banking is so easy. Granny and Granddad can do it. Sign up for online banking or download the RBC Caribbean app.
With RBC, it's safe and easy. Send your money hassle-free. RBC.
Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/bank at home. RBC Royal Bank, banking reimagined.
And we're back. Such fantastic information, such important information. Of course, we still have a major lineup for all of you who are joining us virtually, and also our friends and colleagues who are in studio. This is definitely about information, imparting the necessary knowledge for as many small and medium businesses and individuals to be as successful as possible. Of course, we have Mr. Attorney James Walker, who is in studio with us virtually. James, are you there?
I am here. Good morning. Great being here.
Good. Well, we would like to say welcome to the Bahamas, although virtually, I'm certain that we're going to have you here in person at some point in 2021, once we would have gotten past this pandemic. So we have a wonderful, wonderful intro video that's going to introduce you to our colleagues in a more formal way. So James, if you give me just 2 minutes to just introduce this video and allow for our colleagues joined virtually to hear and learn more about you.
Thank you.
International speaker, James Walker Jr., entertainment lawyer. Topic, how to reinvent yourself in the entertainment industry through technology. James L. Walker Jr. serves as managing partner of J. Walker and Associates, LLC, a leading general service law firm in Greater Atlanta. The many facets of Mr. Walker's practice include tax, nonprofit, entertainment law, television contracts, litigation, business law, intellectual property, and corporate law. Whether a client is involved in books, recording contracts, or mergers and acquisitions, Walker has developed the legal expertise to close the deal. Walker has advised hundreds of corporations, churches, and nonprofits in the past 20 years, from small startups to large ones. Walker's practice consists of the representation of corporations, on-air radio and TV talent, musicians, artists, filmmakers, athletes, and real estate.
Attorney Walker, let me say, definitely an impressive bio. If I'm ever in trouble, I hope I can call you.
Uh-oh. Yes, you can. Did we freeze up? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. I know if I got into any trouble, you won't freeze up in the court of law based on that bio that I've just was able to listen to and watch. How does it feel to be here virtually with us? Let me tell you, Attorney, you are in Trinidad and Tobago, you are in Turks and Caicos Islands, you are in Bahamas. You've gotten a one-stop shop to so many different islands in our region, all through this virtual conference.
Well, it's honored. I wish I could be there in person. We've been dealing with a little bit of a hurricane after effect here in Atlanta, so we haven't had power in a couple of days. So I apologize that I'm not in my big corporate boardroom with books behind me and the normal presentation that we like to give, but I'm grateful to God that everybody's safe, and I'm grateful to talk to you and all of the people out there listening, and I want to answer any of their questions.
Well, definitely. I know we in the Bahamas could, really understand and empathize with the lack of power. We have frequent power outages, so we've just been able to learn how to adjust to those. I'm certain that many of my colleagues who are joined virtually from the Bahamas are pretty, much smiling at the idea of not having power. So one day it's on and the next day it's off. But nonetheless, you're going to speak to us on the topic, how to reinvent yourself in the entertainment industry through technology. I'm going to give you your time to really give us some words of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
And I want to make sure I thank Carol and Ty Johnston for arranging for me to be here as well before I start my presentation. First of all, I just want to give my background. I grew up north, right outside of New York, in a state called Connecticut, Bridgeport area and Hartford area. And I came from Howard University in Washington, D.C. And I was told I couldn't really go back to Connecticut and do entertainment law. And I went there and I grinded. I wrote a business plan. I used the digital components of the internet to build my website, to reach people across the globe. I've been to the Bahamas a couple times. And basically, I'm here to tell people you can do this, that the digital divide does not exist if you're trying to come into the entertainment thing or even in any other business. You just got to really have a plan and execute that plan. And one of the things I did is when I came out, right up top, I wrote my business plan. I spelled out who I needed to know, who I needed to meet with, I got on TV, I got marketing going. And if you do that, I don't care what business you're in, if you really write the plan out, look at the marketplace, look at who you need to know, get the staff you need, and really execute that plan, you really can't fail. A lot of times we don't have a plan. And I think you can do whatever you want to do if you put the plan in place and execute it.
Definitely. I mean, when you think about, when you think about the entertainment industry and you think about, what would you say individuals who are looking to make a separation now between pivoting in this pandemic, putting back their goals and aspirations because they're thinking at this particular point, what can I do? How do I make this next step in terms of, reinventing myself? What would you say to them? What are some steps that they can take in order for them to push forward?
I'm going to answer that. And I want those who are tuning in to hit our chat room and tell me where they're interested. TV, film, music, publishing, books. I want to see in our chat room where people are interested so I can gear my answers to address their needs. But to answer your specific question, this is the most exciting time to be in the entertainment space and to be in business. And let me tell you why. There was a time where I pitched a show. I had a client on BT. I have clients on The Game. I have clients on the Bobby Jones Gospel Show. I have clients on Nightly News. And there was a time where whenever you wanted to pitch something, you had to know someone at the network. You had to have someone walk it through, like our firm. You couldn't just pitch a show, pitch an ideal. You couldn't just walk something through. You couldn't show them your demo reel or your sizzle reel. And what we mean by sizzle reel for your listeners is literally that, a 3-minute, 5-minute presentation that's supposed to be something that's sizzling and hot that the network would see it and say, we want to sign this person. Or if it's the music game, something where you have a CD or some demonstration of your music talent. There was a time pre-COVID, pre the digital, where you couldn't get through those doors. Now with COVID, everybody is Zooming, everybody is working digitally, networks are now online more. You can find that executive, that president, that booking person, that content director, or that person who looks at shows, the showrunner. You can find them all now online and you can put your project in their hands. And that's the difference now. And that's why I say it's so exciting, because the field has been leveled. The field has been totally leveled where you can now play this game. If you're a business and you're trying to get in entertainment, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be on screen. It could be behind screen. You could be a cameraman. You could be a script writer. You could be a CPA. You could be a lawyer. You could be anything you want to be in this entertainment game. And right now you can reach people. I have a classmate, Charles King. He runs Macro. He's on Instagram. He's on Facebook. You can reach him. He produced Fences with Denzel. They won the Oscar for it. He's very approachable. You couldn't do that 10, 20 years ago. And
I have one question that's come in, and it says, what should someone look for in a lawyer as relates to representation in the entertainment industry? What if you're a YouTuber, you are a Instagram influencer, you are any of those things, what should you look for in a lawyer that can represent you in the entertainment industry?
Good question. First, make sure the person is reputable. Make sure they have the respect of the music, film, literary, digital, whatever community you're trying to go into. First of all, make sure they have that respect. Because if they don't have that respect, it doesn't really matter. So that's the first thing. Make sure they're reputable. The second thing is, I tell people all the time, as your entertainment lawyer, I could find a dozen guys who could review your contract. I can find a dozen guys who could just sit there and tell you, this is what the contract says, this is what it means, blah, 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 blah. But what you really want is you want somebody who not just tells you what the contract is, but who also can tell you this is the key dynamics that are intangible and outside of the contract. That's what you want. You want somebody who really, really understands these are the intangible things. that are not written in the contract. These are the little parameters. You want somebody who you call up and you say, hey, Attorney Walker, I want you to help me get to Motown. So I call Sylvia Rowan at Motown, we do the deal, we get you signed, but then I also call VH1. I also call BT. I also call Bravo. I also call MTV, and I cut a simultaneous deal for you to do a TV show while you're making that album. So your entertainment lawyer is supposed to have relationships. That's the invaluable piece of he or she that's different from, say, a regular lawyer who just looks over your contracts. The entertainment lawyer has that connection to say, here's the big picture. I have a client right now, she's on one of the Housewives show. So the show is having ratings through the ceiling. My goal now is to cut a book deal. My goal is now to put her album out. My goal now is to have her doing speaking engagements. And what I try to do is make sure you have 5 streams of income at the end of the day, whether you're an artist, whether you are an author, whether you're a TV personality or an actress. My goal is to make sure you have 5 income streams. And those streams can be real estate, book, TV, film, music, and then your private holdings. That's my job as your entertainment lawyer. And that's how you go about selecting your entertainment lawyer. Very good question.
I love that. You 5 streams of income. Let me just tell you, Mr. Walker, I think I got to work on at least another 4. So you gave me a lot of food for thought there. In the midst of this pandemic, you would have had to keep connected with your clients and make certain that you are able to still be able to support and function in terms of their business. Give us some tips on how you've been able to pivot in that direction to the benefit of both your business and also the business of your clients.
Yeah, and excuse me, I'm trying to text to get people to tune in here. So excuse me if I see me look down for a minute. I'm just
No, that's fine.
People in America know that we're on and they can tune in because this is great information. I enjoyed your prior 2 speakers. But to answer your question, the first thing we did is we shot a digital video out. I would encourage all our listeners who are in business, send a personal message to your clientele to let them know what's going on. Are you open? Are you closed? Are you working from home? Are you doing part-time? Are you taking on new clients? Let them know all of these kind of things because you want to reassure them that, hey, even in the midst of this, we're okay. I'm still working. I'm still here for you. Nothing's going to fall through the crack. We're going to do the court dates. If it's a court matter, we're going to be in court, but we'll be on Zoom with the judge. If it's a contract matter, we're going to make sure we get the contract back to the record label. If it's a TV matter, we're going to make sure we're talking to the network. You want to send that video out. Just sit down in your kitchen or in your home or wherever you do your home Zoom and just send a message to your clients to reassure them we're going to be okay. And here's how you reach me. In our case, we have 10 people working. We have many working from home. Lauren, Nia, Stephanie, I'm going to forget somebody. I shouldn't have started with names. Of course, Amber, my friend, and Constance and Angel and Latoya and Kiana. All these people are working, helping us. And then we have 30 lawyers that partner with us around the country. So those who are working at home, it's my job to let the clients know Kiana's on top of your work. Amber's on top of your work. Nia's on top of your work. Stephanie's on top of your work. Courtney's on top of your work. Bill's on top of your work. Whoever the staffer or attorney is, I have to let people know that, hey, it's COVID, but we haven't forgotten you. And I think we have doubled our income during COVID. And I can't quite understand why. All I assess it to is that Amber is leading the team and she's making sure that we're on top of everything. I get probably 20 calls a week for new clients. Obviously, I can't take them all on. So whoever we take on, I have to make sure we run it through our pipeline and make sure the clients know that even with COVID, we're going to be responsive.
I have a very important question. So we have a lot of talented individuals that are, all around the region. They are in entertainment or they are, influencers in some way and really looking for that looking to reinvent themselves, looking to get that opportunity to expand, not only within their local market, but also within the region, not within the region, but also the world. What advice would you give to them in terms of seeking an attorney like yourself who can get additional opportunities to take that one source of income into 5 to 7 sources of income?
What advice would I give them? Give me the top of that question. I heard the end of it, but what was the top of the question?
We have so many talented individuals in the region. Of course, they are within the Caribbean and wanting either to, take their careers to the next level within their region, but also within the United States and the rest of the world. What are steps they should take to get involved with an attorney who can have the relationships that somebody like you would have had or still have, and really take their careers to the next level?
Oh, it's real simple. They got to first do they got to first do the research. So what's your genre? Are you Afro beats? Are you Caribbean? Are you pop? Are you R&B? Are you rock? Are you classical? Are you jazz? Are you gospel? So they first got to do the research. Once you do the research, then you find out who's the key player in that game. Let's look at the Lakers. You're familiar with the LA Lakers with LeBron James?
I very much so am.
What'd you say?
I am.
Okay, so the Lakers have lost for 10 straight years. They do the research. They want to get back to the championship. They grab LeBron. LeBron grabs Anthony Davis. They grab some supporting cast members. They win the championship last month. You're in the Bahamas. You decide you want to break into Europe or you want to break in America. You go online, you find out who is the LeBron in that game, in that genre. And then you look at what are they doing, who's on their team, how do they market themselves, what is their image, what's their branding, all of that kind of stuff you look at, and then you make your moves. Because everybody's online now, if I see that Carol is managing Nicki Minaj and I'm an artist down in the Bahamas or Turks Caicos or Jamaica or one of the other beautiful Caribbean places, I reach out to that management and say, hey, I'm an artist. I like to get some information. Are you teaching a class? Are you doing a panel? Can we talk online? Can I get on the phone with you? I'm trying to break into the marketplace that you guys clearly are the LeBron James of that marketplace. And if you do that, then you'll see what has worked and what hasn't worked. Similarly, you Google and find out who is their attorney, who is their CPA, who's on their team. All of this is right on Instagram many times. And you go up there and you find who they handle. I was looking at Rihanna. I didn't realize how well she was doing with this Savage clothing line. And I have clients that want to get in that lane. So I started really spending time studying what she's doing with this fashion stuff. Her music stuff is one stream of income, but her main stuff now is this fashion stuff, this stuff she's doing with the Savage line, the Fenty line. And it's phenomenal to see how she's broken that marketplace wide open. And she probably, when she came in 10 years ago, probably didn't even think she could have a near $1 billion company doing fashion and lingerie. And to me, she's a blueprint for, hey, I am successful in this lane. Everybody knows me. Let me go over here and forge relationships, which is a major part of the handout that I put. Forging your relationships and making sure you capitalize on your relationships. We always say here in America, your money, your power is your relationships. That's really where your power is. So as I said, my classmate runs Macro. I got another one in New York running a company. I have plenty in Atlanta running a company. My former classmate was the mayor here. If I need something, I'm going to exercise those relationships. And I try to teach my son that. He's working on Wall Street now, and I try to teach him it's a little bit of what you know, but it's really who you know. And you got to really, really know how to work what you know with who you know in order to break into a market like America. We're looking now at Europe. We have clients that are doing Afro beats, and we're trying to get into Europe. We're trying to get into other markets so that we just don't stymie ourselves with the American market. And again, with this global digital connection, I can reach one of your listeners in the Bahamas and say, hey, we want to come to the Bahamas. We want to bring our artists down, Candy, and we want to know what is the best club there that she should do? What is the best venue? Who's the best promoter? And they're going to look me up, see our credibility, see the clientele that we have, take a call with us, and now we're in the Bahama market. That's how this works.
Excellent. And of course, we have, you've offered to provide a 30-minute mentorship session to one of our viewers today. So I'm certain somebody will be able to have a fantastic experience to get some guidance and a mentorship opportunity with you. But that brings me to this, we have so many lawyers around the Caribbean. Of course, we have law schools that are present in Barbados, in Jamaica, here in the Bahamas as well. What advice, and I assume some of it would be the same for the individual who's looking to break into the entertainment industry as a talent, but what advice would you give to a young lawyer, an older lawyer, somebody who's looking to make the transition from, the criminal law into now entertainment law or maritime law into entertainment law? What are some things they can do? What are some, associations? What are some courses? What are some opportunities they should take on in order to make that transition into entertainment law?
Good question. First thing, let's assume they're a criminal lawyer or they're a civil lawyer doing transactional work and court work. The first thing is reading. Reading is fundamental. If you come in this game and you pick up entertainment clients, but you don't know how to do the work, what good is that? And I see a lot of lawyers come in this game on the entertainment side, and they are very, very popular. They know a lot of people. They get some good clients, but they struggle to keep them because they don't know how to do the work. And what I'm saying to young lawyers or anybody transitioning to this direction, read everything. Books like All You Need to Know About the Music Business by Donald Passman, and I'll post it in the chat room afterwards. This Business of Music by my mentor, Bill Krasilowski. The spinoff book, he gave me the privilege to write, This Business of Urban Music, which is more conversational. And I try to tell the stories of how I do deals, what goes in my mind, what went in the mind of the other lawyer, what the artists were thinking. But I really try to encourage them. First thing is read. Make sure you read. The second thing is get out to the conferences so you can know the players. If you got a talented artist over here and you don't know the players, what do you do with the demo tape? If you got a talented TV, as I've had many times, and you don't have a connection at networks, what do you do with the TV script or the producer trying to shoot the film or make the film happen? So I try to tell people, make sure you're reading, make sure you're attending the conferences, and then don't be afraid to lean on firms like ours. We welcome people to come in this field. We don't look at it as, oh, if Johnny's coming in, it must be competition. We look at it as there are thousands of legal interests out here, thousands of artists, thousands of filmmakers, and they all need our help. So why even get upset if you have somebody else coming in the game when they can actually help us with really serving all of these clients? I just don't understand why there's this competitive thing about helping each other and welcoming other lawyers in the game. So don't be afraid to lean on established entertainment lawyers who give you a carrot and say, hey, I'll help you transition in. We need you over here. Let's talk African-American or Bahamian, or even if you're from another island, people of color are underrepresented in this entertainment game on the side of being counsel, being CPA, being the road manager, being whatever non-frontline position or non-out front position. We're underestimated, and it's just wonderful if we could get more people on this side of the table. So I spend my days trying to encourage young lawyers to consider entertainment law and other lawyers to get into entertainment law.
Okay, we definitely are going to come back to Attorney Walker. We've had some technical difficulties there, but I mean, oh, he's back up. So, ladies and gentlemen, Attorney Walker, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, perfect. We lost you there for just a quick second, but I'm certain that you were able to make some reconnections very quickly.
I'm here.
Go on.
No, I just want to emphasize that point that you have to lean on those of us who are doing this type of work. Yeah, it takes a little bit of ability, and we need you. If you're out there and you're listening, we need more African-American entertainment lawyers, business managers, managers. Don't just think creative. We need you on the business side too.
Well, definitely what I think I enjoyed most and what I'm taking home myself is the importance and the power of relationships. Any final words from you for our viewers?
Final words is the things. I think we have a handout. I won't say all of them, but treat yourself as a brand. take advantage on social media and how you can connect to it. I also want to emphasize integrating your digital media into your success and your vision for the year. Socially engaging, I really want to encourage that, and always be optimizing and improving. You just don't want to get stuck thinking that you can't put something out there until it's perfect. Sometimes you got to work on it. And I also think that always look at how you handle your internet page. Don't just post on social media to post, but make sure there's a strategy. I like to use the pyramid model where you're building up to something and you're going somewhere with your posting so that people can see how you're rolling out your media, your marketing, your branding. And if you do that, I just think it's not impossible to get in this game.
Well, thank you so much, Attorney James Walker Jr. It's been fantastic to have you here at the InKnoVation Conference Series. Hopefully we'll get to hear more from you in person should you join us next year. Thank you so much, and definitely it's been a pleasure. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Enjoy all the extra perks of BTC's new business mobile plans. Every new line added includes a free new smartphone packed with unlimited local calls, international and roaming minutes, plus local and roaming data to stay connected to your business. Sign up and switch now for as low as $49.99 per month and get handset discounts for life. Have your team do more and work smarter on the best 4G LTE network with BTC's business mobile plans. Conditions apply.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're back in studio with a man who is no stranger to anybody who's in the entertainment industry in the Bahamas. Definitely this kind gentleman has been a mentor to me in some instances, a personal friend, a business consultant, and definitely somebody who has pushed me as a young entrepreneur. I am talking about none other than Mr. Burton Wallace. Burton, welcome in your studio.
Darren, it's interesting being on the other side of the camera, but thank you. It's good to be here.
You know, Burton, I gave you this introduction because when I think about state of the art, when I think about major events, when I think about walking into a room that's absolutely grand, you know, you walk into one of the major hotels and you would have booked the room for an event and you go back home to get ready. And by the time you come back, Movi has taken the room by storm. And one of the things I would say is, you know, do we have the sauce?
Come on, sauce for us.
Sauce for us, you know.
There you go.
I
want
to put some sauce for us here. And, you know, I just really want to say and I commend you for the fantastic work that you've done. You've really taken this industry to another level. And I mean, I could talk forever, but I think one thing that you've done, and you've done it so well, is you've brought the feel of what people think can only happen in Europe and the United States. You've brought that here to the Bahamas. And so, you know, congratulations.
Thank you.
On that. You know, tell me though, how did this all get started?
Dear God. I don't know if we have all that time in the show, but I'll summarize this as quickly as I can, Darren. Just even young, I always saw things different. I would see what wasn't there. And that's what you have to be able to do to be a creative. You have to have some vision. Started off as a photographer, transitioned into learning video, worked with a couple of companies for a few years, decided to venture out and take the leap of faith, started a business. Just like many other businesses, started in the back room of the home, but I was able to deliver a product that had value, and good enough never was with me. I always wanted to improve somehow on what we're doing. Fast forward a little bit more, we grew enough to be able to take on a team. and a team that brought a lot of value and expertise with them. But before I go too far, let's let our technical team run the intro video, and we'll come right back.
You know, I got so excited because I don't ever get the opportunity to interview you. But let's go to the intro video.
Featured small business owner, Burton Wallace, movie group of companies. Burton is a well-known production leader in the broadcast and audiovisual community. With over 21 years of experience, he's known as the extraordinaire in the business. Burton commenced his formal training at the College of the Bahamas. He obtained his practical experience at the Counselors Limited as an editor, cameraman, and photographer. He later transitioned to media enterprise during his tenure at Cable Bahamas in the pay-per-view department. Burton wanted more. He wanted to build his own empire to become the best in the business. So he took a leap of faith to become his own boss in the field of audiovisual production. This journey commenced in early 2000 when Movie Company Limited was born. Through perseverance, Burton was able to develop his business from a small audiovisual company to the giant that business has become.
Need I say anything else?
I think that summarizes.
But the interesting part is we look at all of that, including you barefoot sweeping a floor with some short pants on. It really speaks mountains to you as a leader, right? And I've seen that as well. But that's how Movi operated pre-pandemic. You have made a pivot out of this world. Tell me about that transition pre-pandemic to the way Movi is operating right now.
The video that we just saw spoke very heavily to how Movi operated pre-COVID. If there are events, we were there. Live broadcasts, we were there. Conferences, we were a part of it. Things that were innovative, creative, that needed a high technical arc in terms of that delivery, more than likely we'd be there. So then came COVID. It was difficult. It was very, very difficult. Like most business owners, by the time COVID came along, Darren, I was scared. I didn't know what to do.
I remember you and I had a conversation about this. And in that conversation, I remember you said, this is serious.
This is serious. And I don't care what you do as a business person. I don't care what your business continuity plan was. There was no plan for COVID. Fine, we experience hurricanes here. We know, okay, we'll lose electricity for maybe a few days or a week. Fine, we got a generator. Business might not operate for a week or two. Fine, we have a little nest egg in savings. COVID shut everything down. It was like we dove off a cliff and there was no forecast. You couldn't see down the road, over the hill, around the corner. And it was like, dear God, what is next?
It didn't feel like a pivot. It felt like a knockout.
Darren, I'll tell anyone, I'll admit as a business person, I was scared. I was scared.
And I remember one conversation, we're going to come to that in one of the questions, but you said to me, you know, Darren, it's not so much me, but I'm more concerned about the people that I employ.
Yeah. You know, and as a leader, you take your obligations to your team very seriously. At least I do.
Yeah.
And we have mothers, we have fathers, we have people who have their own family commitments. And as a business, we exchange commitments with each other.
Correct.
I commit that a certain amount of resources financially are going to be in place for you. You commit that we're going to work together
Investment.
to achieve. Okay. And so I take my part very seriously. So, but we got to COVID. Thankfully, I had some relationships regionally, internationally, and we started conversations. A very, very good colleague of mine, in fact, a business partner, Rob Morgan, he's the lead with Technical Entertainment Services, TESS. Rob just went in beast mode. He started transforming his space into a virtual space. I'm like, Rob, what are you doing? He's like, man, Burton, we're going virtual. I was like, so I don't know, like, and Rob started talking to me what he was doing, and Rob is involved in everything big, and he does Rolling Loud, he does Ultra Miami, They've done work with David Guetta. I mean, you name it. And I started taking it in, sponging it in. So how do I set it up? How do I manage it? How do I organize? And I was like, oh my God, there's a lot. But then came another call, another colleague we've been doing work with, their friend Valdez with VKR. And Valdez was like, Burton, so I don't know if you're able to do this, but I have a client that's interested in doing an online virtual. I was like, well, maybe.
This lines up with Rob.
Okay, so I was like, okay, conversation client. And it went into the situation where we realized we could repurpose a lot of our broadcast inventory to create a virtual platform. And believe it or not, with this relationship with VKR, that was the birthplace of it. We started in the little foyer of the office. If you saw the space, you wouldn't even believe it was getting done there. But that's where it started.
Wow. And, you know, it brings me to this question. So in the midst of COVID, though, we had what we call, you know, it happened in tiers, but then we had lockdown. And in the midst of that lockdown, it was everything was done. But you were still able to make that transition to move completely virtual, to really capitalize on those individuals that were at home. And from that, you grew, you know, the people in another place said you grew from strength to strength. How are you feeling about the success that you have experienced thus far?
Listen, I gotta say that I can never forget a speech of sort that I heard from Miles Monroe. And Miles always preached this sermon about the Asians and their way of thinking, that when the rest of the world sees devastation, they see opportunity. And I've just always tried to push myself to say, when this is going wrong, but what's the opportunity in this? And business really essentially is finding solutions to problems and adding a price tag to it. The problem was everyone was stuck home with no real content of value to be able to be piped to them. Who could be this conduit to make the ties between adding good value propositions with quality content, to deliver it to a number of social media platforms, to take the headaches away from everyone, whether it was the corporate or the entertainment community, and say, we're gonna thread this all together. You bring us the idea, and we're gonna make it technically happen in the background and land it exactly where you want it to land. And this has been it, Darren, it's been phenomenal. It's worked.
Yeah. And we've seen it work in so many different platforms, especially here at the Innovation Conference. I mean, last year you would have run this conference, the back end of this conference, you know, in a very large space with a very grand, you know, build up with the sauce fours. And now look at it. I mean, not only are you here locally, taking us locally in the Bahamas, but also you are taking us, virtually in the Bahamas, but also virtually in so many different islands. And that speaks about technology. How have you been able to use technology to get this done?
Listen, we've now inherited a small physical footprint, but now extended our virtual footprint. We could reach the world.
Yeah.
And I gotta say a big thank you to people like BTC. The fiber service that we were able to get here has been second to none. And I gotta say that is a hinge point to enabling what we do to happen. As you saw on the cutaway earlier, even with this going on, we have so much headroom right now left in our network. I mean, we're clocking right out. We got internet to share even with this going on. So Andre and to your team, thank you. This has been phenomenal. Beyond that, Darren, as a technology-based company, technology changes. You got to remember that you have to keep your fixed assets relevant and current. And as industries change and develop, you have to be able to move with it. If you still have the same inventory and the same thinking that you had 5 years ago, trust me, you're done. You're almost in the cave again. So we're constantly updating our inventory, giving our team the technical tools that they need to be able to execute services at a higher level. We've folded in right now, everything is about the IT and the IP of things. Everything has switched. Just the way we communicate right now, everything is on fiber, and we need high-speed internet, and you got to figure out how to get these encoders to work. And I got to live stream to Facebook.
Cloud storage.
Everything.
Yep.
And we've been fortunate, like I said, to be able to leverage our relationships overseas and that's kept us ahead of the game, because we're not paying attention too much to what's happening here in the market. That's not necessarily our compass. We lean to our friends outside of this jurisdiction, who are leaders in their own markets in the US and other places in Canada. And I'm like, okay, so what's the now? What's the next over there? And they're like, Burton, you might want to look at this. You should get some training in this. You might want to acquire this tool or this piece of equipment. And it's helped us tremendously.
I remember about a year ago, Laron, one of your producers the professor, came to my office. I remember the previous year they had all this equipment. And then the next year I had to do this shoot for a particular production you were doing for us. And he came with a camera on a stick. And I looked at him and I says, well, I'll give you enough time to get your people ready and set up. He said, no, Darren, it's the setup right here. And and then I remember you telling me about this new camera technology that you brought in. So I think it's so important to see how you've changed and maneuver with your equipment and materials. But my next question, staffing is extremely, extremely important to you. And Movi doesn't only impact the staff that you have employed with you presently in your space, but there's so many other subcontractors that you bring on to do some of this major work. How has that been in this particular process of the pandemic?
Well, I'd say this. One thing that I think most business people will agree with, people are the engines that run many businesses. And you want to have a well-tuned engine to get really a great service. We've, for the most part, handpicked a lot of the people that we've engaged. And as our services or our demands might expand or contract, so to speak, we have a great pool of persons that we can lean to. And even now in the pandemic, we're finding that we have to lean into that pool. So, to other business persons out there, just to say that, sometimes don't think that COVID is the judge and jury on you. You have to find what makes your genre of business relevant in this time and put yourself in a path to intersect with that. And that will generally turn into business. Don't forget your people. That's your engine. Take care of them. COVID especially has brought so many other stressors.
Anxiety, so much anxiety.
To everyone. The general wellness of people is important. Their mental health. We have mothers in our employ that now have to deal with homeschooling, and you have to be sensitive to that as a leader. And it's the same in a lot of other places. So even though people come to work, you got to remember sometimes they're coming with a lot, and you have to be sensitive to this and be a part of their support system to be able to garner the best from them.
Andre, you hear Burton talk about this technology and the importance of technology, but you have been a true believer in the work of Movi, the amount of work they've done in the B2B space with the InKnoVation Conference. Your thoughts?
Well, I must commend Burton, certainly for all that he has done, and it's wonderful to hear a lot of the leaders, a lot of these entrepreneurs, the successful entrepreneurs, a lot of the words keep on coming back, got to take care of your people, Obviously, Burton is very passionate about what he's doing. And also mentorship, having the right relationships with people. I think Burton and the Movi Group is certainly another classic example of a company that experienced difficulties. And if they kept on their current track pre-COVID, frankly, wouldn't have made it.
Wouldn't have made it.
No. Had to do that pivot. And it was great that Burton was able to, with his great, strong relationships and with his people and with his, obviously with his leadership, be able to make that pivot and now turn this business into not only a successful business, but something that's pushing, you know, a lot of other entrepreneurs as well, giving them opportunities into what his service, you know, provides for them as well. So, you know, I think it's commendable, and it's a lesson here. It's a lesson here of what, you know, for other businesses that, look, if it's not working, you know, get off that track, go into this next track, do your research, make sure you go to the next track, and do all that you need to do to move forward and propel that business.
You know, definitely knocked down, but not knocked out, right?
There you go.
And, you know, Burton, something people don't know about you is that you've done so much work with young people in terms of apprenticeships. I remember when I was in another place, I've had some young men who've couldn't find their space or their talent. One, I want to commend you for the work that you've done there in taking some young men on and young women on. But also, I want to commend you for the push that you've given to so many Bahamian artists as well. Any final words from you?
I'd say just in response to that, Darren, a blessing received is a blessing to give. I always believe in paying it forward. And for what we do in every genre of business to survive, you have to be preparing for the transition, preparing the next set of people. In final words, I would say to everyone, the one thing I had to take my own advice, which was I had to get over my fear. Fear will hold you back. Do whatever you have to do to get past your fear. Second, find something that motivates you. My work family, my family at home. I keep a picture of my daughter. I got to keep going, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So ladies and gentlemen, Burton, thank you so much. And, you know, next up we have Ray J. You know, we have Ray J that's in the house, and
That's an entrepreneur.
That's an entrepreneur.
Yep.
And we'll be right back with Ray J right after this commercial break.
Digital banking, online, RBC.
Thank you.
RBC banking, online, pay your bills anytime.
RBC digital banking is so easy. Granny and Granddad can do it. Sign up for online banking or download the RBC Caribbean app.
With RBC, it's safe and easy. Send your money hassle-free. RBC.
Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/bank at home. RBC Royal Bank. Banking reimagined.
Enjoy all the extra perks of BTC's new business mobile plans. Every new line added is a free new smartphone packed with unlimited local calls, international and roaming minutes, plus local and roaming data to stay connected to your business. Sign up and switch now for as low as $49.99 per month and get handset discounts for life. Have your team do more and work smarter on the best 4G LTE network with BTC's new business mobile plans. Conditions apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. In the house, we have Mr. Willie Ray J. Norwood, who's going to be speaking to us on the topic, how to transform in the age of agility and innovation. I'm going to introduce Mr. Norwood into our virtual space now, and then we're going to move over to a formal introductory video that's going to tell us a bit more about him. So let's go to the video, and then we will hear from Ray J himself.
Willie Ray J. Norwood, American singer, songwriter, rapper, and entrepreneur. Topic: how to transform in the age of agility and innovation. Willie Ray Norwood, known professionally as Ray J, is an American singer, songwriter, rapper, television personality, actor, and entrepreneur. Born into a family with a rich legacy in music, he was influenced by both the Los Angeles hip-hop scene and the gospel scene at his church, where his father was the director of the choir. When Norwood was 8, he landed his first set of roles as a child actor in various ad campaigns. Most recently, Ray J has launched a new consumer electronics brand with Raycon and acts as the full-time Chief Marketing Officer, overseeing marketing and global brand strategy. He's best known for popularizing the Scoot e-bike, a two-wheeled electric vehicle. Raycon addresses the everyday needs of the urban technophile, focusing on impactful electric transportation. Raycon products are distributed throughout the United States, Asia, and Europe.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back and Ray J is in the house. Ray J, before I turn it over to you to make your presentation to us, listen, welcome to the Bahamas virtually. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Turks and Caicos Islands. Welcome to our region. I hope in 2021, we'll have you here in person, but how are you today?
I'm doing well, man. All of the places that I really want to go, man, you just named them.
Definitely. And, you know, we would want to see you in these places. I mean, you have made the pivot out of rapping to acting to now tech businessman. You know, I'm certain in this few minutes that we have with you that you are going to share with us some amazing nuggets of success and really how we're able to transform in the age of agility and innovation. So over to you, Ray J.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. You know, I really rarely get to tell, you know, the story of how it all, you know, came about, of me just putting, you know, together a plan to really kind of disrupt the technology industry. I started out doing music, and the first time I really felt like I needed to be my own boss and my own entrepreneur was when the record labels really didn't want to sign me, and I was left in a corner all by myself, you know. And I felt like with nowhere to go, I reached out to my family and my mom and my sister and my dad, and I asked them for a loan because I really felt like I had some good music, but it was hard for me to get it out because the record labels wanted me to go a certain way, and I demanded to be another way because I felt like my music was this way, but they wanted me to go another way. So I just kind of fought for my dreams, and thank God to my mom and my sister and my dad. They gave me some money to put out an album called Radiation. And on the Radiation project was the song One Wish. And One Wish was pretty much, even to this day, I mean, I felt like Sexy Can I and a few songs I released after, they sold more units, but One Wish was the one that stuck with me. And it was pretty much my biggest record and my most powerful record. And that record was a 100% independent. You know, even to this day, I own all of my masters 100% for this record and for this album. And so for us to go in a small van and really promote and market this record all through the city, I started to understand the way to create my own template for marketing. You know, I felt like guerrilla marketing, going out, touching the people, really being a part of the people and with the people, by the people. I felt like that was my main specialty. And so taking everything that I've, you know, learned from the music side of things and running my own label, I then started to figure out, well, I need to take some of this money that I'm making in TV and acting and start putting it into something that could create generational wealth for me, something that could have my money working for me when I'm going to sleep. You know, all of these things started to come about because every year I would get paid for my talent, but I never really put my money into a place where it could work itself. And so I started to start to look into different things of what I could do, where I could be successful. And I ran up on a product called the Scooty Bike. Now I named it the Scooty Bike, but it was about 10 different electric bikes out that I seen in Miami. And it caught my attention. I asked around to see if anybody's ever seen this kind of bike before, and if this was something that they would be interested in, from Diddy to Snoop, and every other, you know, celebrity that I knew. And they all went crazy over the bike. So I felt like that was my introduction into technology. Before I started Raycon, I put all my money into Scooty Bike, everything I had into Scooty Bike. I gave away about 500 bikes. And wholesale, the bikes was $500. So I was literally giving away $500 to everybody that I felt could help me build the brand. And then it started to turn around. I mean, things started to look good for me. The bike started to become successful. The name started to grow. The brand started to grow. But I didn't know anything about business. I didn't know about products. I didn't know about, you know, price points, and how to make sure that I measured it the right way. So whatever I invested, I can make back, whether it was acquisition, marketing, so on and so forth. And long story short, I went to New York. I was almost out of money, man. I was almost broke because I was spending money and I was also buying a lot of retail stores. So I had a store in Hoboken, I had a store in Miami, I had a store in San Diego, I had a store in LA. You know, big mistake, because I felt like as we were becoming successful, I needed to continue to put these retail stores in different places. And I think that's where I made a bad turn and I started to lose my money. And I started not to listen enough to people around me that was trying to help me. And right when I got down to rock bottom, I went to New York and I walked in a store called Cowboy Wholesale. And that's where everything changed. I met Ray Lee, who is our CEO, who is my partner in Raycon. His dad, Mr. Lee, created a company called Kobe. It's a $1 billion electric company for televisions and so on and so forth. And they taught me how to focus on price points that people can afford. And let's try to find a product that the whole world can buy and that they can afford. I mean, Scooty Bike was at $1,200. And that was a little much for people to just go and buy and enjoy. So we started to bring it down to 30 items. Raycon started when the earbuds started to boom. And then we created our whole new company around these earbuds. And now we're at over 1 million customers today. 3 years ago to now, we're at 1 million customers and counting. So God is good.
You know, what I'm hearing from you, Ray J, is the importance of people to you. And, you know, you speak about the organic marketing, you speak about this particular product that you've put in place, Scooty Bike. And I see that somebody's already put a message out there. You know, it's a fantastic name. But then you have the Scooty Bike and the earbuds that go hand in hand. You know, but what I found most interesting is you talked about the feeling of being in a corner by yourself. And I think what our audience members are really interested in is, how did you get out of that? Because sometimes people feel pushed back. And it's not because of what they're feeling inside, but how other people make them feel. You talked about, you know, having to redefine yourself because people wanted to define you. You know, I think give us some steps on how you're able to push out of that corner and how you're able to keep your personal brand not being influenced by some of these other individuals that felt you should go right when in fact you felt in your gut that you should be going left.
Yeah, well, I think when you feel like you're pushed in a corner and you feel like what you believe in, you know is right. Like your heart is telling you one thing and somebody else is telling you another. You have to understand that now you have to make the decision to fight for what you believe in, but that means you have to work twice as hard. You know, I mean, I think sometimes when you have to not prove yourself to people, but prove to people that what you're saying is super legit and it's true and it's real, you have to put extra amount of work into that cycle, because now a lot of people are depending on you and not even, people are thinking that you're going to fail and people don't believe in what you believe. So now you feel like you're all alone. And right then you have to start to chant. To me, I started to chant that I'm gonna win. And then I started to say I already won. And then I started to say that I believe in myself, it's gonna happen. And then I started to say that it is happening. And from there, I just started to put in the work. And I started to really try to go to the people that I trust and that I love and ask them for help. And it's nothing wrong with asking for help, because a lot of times you need help. Without help, you can't survive sometimes, and sometimes your pride gets in the way. But if you really have people around you that you love and that you can trust, those are the people that you go and you ask for help from. And you know, from there, God will start to pave the way for you. You know, it'll start to happen as long as you believe and you put in extra work, extra hard work. Things will start to unfold. You know.
What advice would you give to young entrepreneurs out there who are listening to us, who are interested and wanting to start their own businesses?
I say do it. I say do it. I say if you're young, you take the risk. You take the risk. It's very risky when you're starting your own business. So I say you start it with people that you trust, that you love. It could be your family members or your best friends. But I also say that if you do have a successful project and you feel like you're on a successful run, that's when you have to start reaching out to other people who are experts in different fields, like a great CEO, a good CFO, a good CMO, and start to build your company around people who are experts in their positions, because that's how you can grow and you can scale. And that's after you reach a certain point where you feel like you're in a good rhythm and you think things are positive and there's a future for whatever you're doing. That's when you have to start building a team in a bigger way.
When we think about Ray J, you think about actor, rapper, you think now about businessman, but you think young Black man in America, right? You think about reality TV. How is it that you're able to get people to take you seriously, not redefine your brand based on people, but take you seriously as a tech businessman right now?
Well, I think it's beyond me. It's about taking the product seriously and taking the brand seriously and making sure you have great product, great customer service, and great people around you that know how to market it, that know how to build your company and help you grow it and scale it. So it's really not about me, because most of my customers that buy the earbuds aren't buying it because of Ray J. They're buying it because of great marketing. They're buying it because of word of mouth that the earbuds are great. I mean, we're half the price of the competition. I felt like buying earbuds at $250 is crazy. It's crazy, and you don't have to do that. And so I felt like us breaking it down and showing people that these prices are where they should be, and you can get the same quality or better in the Raycon earbuds as opposed to the AirPods. No disrespect to Apple. They're the big dogs, much respect. But I feel like that the prices are out of control, and we had to do something with the prices. And so having a $79 earbud plus 15% off is more attractive to people, and they feel better at buying an earbud than spending $250. So it's bigger than me. It's the product, it's the marketing, it's the customer service, it's everything about the brand that people believe in. And me, I feel like I'm just not only the founder, I'm just an ambassador. I'm just somebody that's stamping it.
I love that. And, it's interesting because as I hear you speak, you're saying very easily, I want to make certain that what I do is accessible to the common man, the every single day man, who in fact, really, Ray J, they are the masses, and they should have the ability to take advantage of some of the same quality products that everybody else who has a couple dollars are able to take away. When we talk about brand, though, tell me a bit about your brand. When people hear Ray J, what is it that you want people to see and know about you?
Well, Ray J is, I look at myself as Willie Norwood, and then Ray J is Ray J, the character, right? And what I do like on reality, what I do like on reality TV and stuff like that is a little bit more fun and cool and a little bit more out of control sometimes. I think in relationships, people can just relate when you're real. So sometimes in reality, it goes up and down with the Ray J character. With just us in business and on the Raycon side and on the Scooty Bike side, it's just a whole different beast for me. And, I kind of fly under the radar. Like, we don't really talk about, how much money we're making or, our products being, we don't boast and brag. We just kind of stay quiet and just sell the products, as opposed to the other side of me with Ray J. On reality, I'm a little more loud. I'm a little more fun, a little more over the top. So I try to balance the two, but it's just two different worlds in itself,
So there are two characters. There's the character, and then there is the character that's in Willie Norwood himself. And I think that speaks mountains. What I want to touch on is this whole idea of generational wealth and the whole idea of, passing the baton and working as a family to achieve great success and maintaining that success. What's your advice to, families out there, in the region? You have so many families that have businesses that, build on each other and build from generation to generation. What advice do you give these families to be able to maintain and sustain what it is that they're building?
I think you just gotta make sure that you go with the times. I think you stay relevant with how the wheel is rolling. I think when you stay stuck on one thing, you may stay stuck in one decade. But as the youth gets older and the wheel keeps rolling, you have those young people involved as well, because the youth, they have these minds and they can see the future. So you always have some young people around that's tapped in to the future, and keep them around because they're going to help you keep the wheel rolling and keep everything relevant up to today of what's going on right now.
10 years from now, where do you see yourself?
10 years from now? 10 years from now, I see myself owning a couple of companies that are really doing exceptionally well. But more so than anything, 10 years from now, I see myself with my kids and they're doing well in school and I'm teaching them great things and they're being inspired to be positive and to be great. So me being a father and me making sure that I'm the best father that any father can be is the most important thing for me right now, is to make sure my kids are great and I'm a great father.
And what do you think is the 4 most important things you are going to do from this point on towards those 10 years to get you to that point that we can also learn from?
I think just showcasing that somebody like me can be an entrepreneur in technology, somebody that's in reality, somebody that has a crazy story like mine. I mean, if you look at where I've been and what I've done and where I've come from, and to end up here today with over 1 million customers with a technology company that we founded 3 years ago, is to me is an amazing turnaround. And I just want to be an example to everybody that has lived a life that was fun or out of control or wild, that they can turn that around, man, and you can do positive things. And just because your 20s was turned up doesn't mean your 30s and 40s can't be exceptional in business. And so I just want to be an example of that and show people that, you know, no matter who you are, you can dominate in any sector as long as you work hard and believe in it.
Any final words for us?
You know, just keep praying for me, man. Keep praying for me. Keep praying for my family. Raycon Global, we're booming right now. You know how it is in this business. Everything goes up and down, up and down. So for me, you know, just pray for me to stay on top of the game. Pray for me to keep all the angels around. You know, we're on the stock market right now on the OTC. The ticker is LPPPF. And if you're in Toronto, we're on the TSXV. We're and our ticker is LOOP. So, you know, just keep us in the game, and, you know, wherever we can help, we're here to help. God is good.
But, you know, something just, I know I said final words, but something just hit me. You said God is good, and something just rested on my spirit just now. You know, you've made a fantastic transition from so many different careers to where you are now. What opportunities out there for you to mentor or for you to teach exactly the tools or the toolkit that you've used to make it where you've made it? Is there opportunities that our viewers are able to access that?
I think I need a few more years. I think I need about 5 more years before I feel like I can give proper advice and a toolkit. I think I'm still making mistakes and I think I'm still learning. So I think, you know, give me another 5 to 10 consistent, you know, years of this, and then I'll have the knowledge to help. But right now, I need help. Help me, you know, help me understand the new wave of business. And there's so many things that I need to learn from so many smart people. So, you know, if you got anything that you can help me with, I'm all ears.
Well, definitely, Ray J, let's stay in touch. But I'll tell you this much. What I loved about our interview today is your honesty. I love the fact that you speak directly to the personal transformations that you've made in your life, and how important it is for us to drop our pride and to be open to getting the level of assistance that we need, being able to step out there. But most importantly, do not let anyone define who you know yourself to be, but prove to them why you and who you know yourself to be is important to be showcased, highlighted, and celebrated. And thank you so much for the words of wisdom that you've extended to all of your friends in the region. We are your friends. I hope to see Scooty bikes here very soon.
Yes.
Bahamas and all over the region. I hope that you come and launch these bikes yourself so that we can get that experience.
I can't wait, man. You tell me when. I'll be on my way.
Exactly. I'll make certain that Carol gets in touch with you so I can be the first one on the Scooty bike. Thank you so much. And we wish you every blessing, and we keep you in our prayers.
Thank you.
And wish you every success. Have a good
God
one.
bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Internet for your bakery to receive orders online while customers share your goodness on the spot. Unlimited mobile calls to talk to all the business you need, and data to do business anywhere. BTC Business understands the big picture and has a small business solution with big value for you. Go digital with fast internet, unlimited local calls, data, smartphone discounts, and more for as low as $99 a month. Visit btcbahamas.com to sign up now. Conditions apply.
Digital banking, online, RBC. RBC Banking online, pay your bills anytime.
RBC Digital Banking is so easy. Granny and Granddad can do it. Sign up for online banking or download the RBC Caribbean app.
With RBC, it's safe and easy. Send your money hassle-free. RBC.
Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/bank at home. RBC Royal Bank. Banking reimagined.
I told you that this was going to be an exciting show, and I do not think that our organizers of the Innovation Conference has let you down. Naja, I totally enjoyed the words of encouragement, the words of empowerment, the honesty. I think the level of vulnerability that Ray J showed in that last segment as well. I mean, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I came in not really knowing very much about what he's doing now, but just to hear him say what he said, and like you say, the honesty and the just being kind of vulnerable, I thought that was very impactful, and I was impressed by it, very much so.
You know, the thing that stuck out to me most that he talked about is pride.
Yeah.
And often in our Caribbean countries, we are very prideful people, and sometimes we
Indeed.
are prideful children, and we don't like to go to our parents because as we say in the Bahamas, we is big man or we is big woman, and I'm certain that my colleagues around the region have their own sayings, but we want to be so independent, and sometimes we're independently broke and independently empty, and we don't have enough support around us that we're able to rely on to pour in, and that is pour in financially or pour in levels of motivation and encouragement. We heard from Burton, who's been one of those individuals, although he's in technology and I'm in psychology and I'm a creative, been able to pour into me. And you hear Ray J talk about the importance of that. I mean, this is powerful.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I agree. I couldn't agree more. It was really.
And now we have in the house a very, 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 I mean, it is so timely, but we have Leah Carla Clinton Adderley from RBC. And let me tell you, Ms. Adderley, we've been talking about, investments, we've been talking about finances, we've been talking about access to capital, we've been talking about ease of doing business. And I think you coming in representing RBC will help to bring some things alive in what we've talked about with our colleagues in Trinidad and Tobago and our colleagues in Barbados and our colleagues in the Bahamas, that in this pivot, we have to keep business alive. Tell me a little bit about what you do at RBC. Of course, you're one of our sponsors for the Innovation Conference Series. Tell me about a little bit about what you do and a bit more about what you feel colleagues and our virtual listeners need to know so that there's some services they might be able to access to help them do their business more efficiently.
Well, thank you, Darren. I'm excited to be here. We were able to participate in the conference last year and was very exciting. Of course, it was different. It was at Bahama last year. This year is different. It's virtual, but happy to see that BTC still saw the importance of having this event. Small businesses are very important to our communities and to our economies. So I'm happy that BTC has continued to provide that support. And RBC is no different. I have overall responsibility for business banking in the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands. What we do is we create a sort of a one-stop shop for business banking customers, whether it's something as simple as opening up a checking account, getting a credit card, other credit products such as a loan, overdraft, trade services such as a letter of credit or customs bonds. Of course, you have your digital services such as digital banking, which allows small businesses to operate online, to pay bills, to make transfers between accounts, to pay customers or suppliers at other local banks, and of course, to make international payments. And then we also have our cash management services. Those include items services such as payroll, e-commerce, and of course, merchant services, which is the cash acceptance products. So basically, that's us in a nutshell. We're a one-stop shop for any business customer in the community.
And I'm certain that RBC has the right woman who is responsible for all of these things. This has been major, with the lockdowns and with the pandemic. We've all had to pivot, but in particular, in terms of trade, it's so essential for banks to remain operational. How has RBC been able to pivot in the midst of this pandemic?
Well, first of all, before we get into that, just as an organization itself, we've had to change. A number of our workforce are operating from home. They're working from home. We do have to, of course, balance that along with the needs of our clients. And so we do have our branches that remain open for in-house services. And so we've also tried to support our clients as best as possible in terms of credit facilities. We've been able to provide deferrals on credit facilities for a number of months because we recognize that everyone is struggling. Businesses, individuals, households, we've all been impacted by COVID-19 and revenues, of course, have been impacted as well. And so we've provided support and relief to our clients, and we continue to assist as best as possible as we all, navigate through this pandemic.
If I'm a business owner or I, have a consumer loan or a business loan with you, how am I able to reach out to my loan officer or a customer service agent or a person responsible for my credit facility, whichever name it might be, to kind of get a deferred payment or to say, listen, the struggle is real. I need at least 2 to 3 months to pay what I used to pay in 1 month.
Yeah. So, that's already been happening. Our clients have reached out to us, whether it's by way of the branch, reaching out to their relationship manager by phone, by email. We've certainly accommodated as best as possible all requests. I will say if there is a need that a client has at this point, to reach out again, and we'll continue the discussions in terms of trying to provide support during this time.
They said RBC Merchant Services take your business to the next level, but not only are they going to take you to the next level, but it sounds to me that they're going to stick with you while you're on the next level. So you've had a suite of services that's provided to assist small and medium businesses in particular. We've talked about e-commerce, we've talked about websites, we've talked about social media, we've talked about curbside and the entire transition in order for businesses to remain operational. And what we've seen in all countries around the region is that the cash transaction is becoming less than the actual debit or credit card transactions. Can you tell us about some of the suite of services that's directly now related to our small and medium businesses doing their work with ease?
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. You're spot on, right? We're certainly going through a cash transformation globally. And the Bahamas is no different. And so RBC, we saw the need to ensure that we provide appropriate products and services to our small and medium-sized businesses while we, again, try to navigate through this. And so the first product that I want to talk about is our Easy Pay 2.0 product. It's a product that was launched this year. It's not entirely new. It's an extension of our original Easy Pay product that we had. It's a merchant service device that we've had out for a number of years. And the Easy Pay 2.0 came about as a result of feedback that we received from our clients. They gave us their feedback telling us that they needed some tweaks and additional features added to the product. So hence the evolution of Easy Pay 2.0. Just to highlight some of the features of that product, as I mentioned, it's a merchant service terminal. So it allows you to accept card payments. It's very small, and that's one of the really unique features about it.
I'm looking at it right now, and actually, I recognize I paid for my coffee this morning with an Easy Pay terminal. I can't say exactly where I paid for that coffee, but the fact remains it was really creative and really small, and I had never seen it before. So tell us more about it.
Yeah, so as you said, it's very small. It's about
palm size,
palm size, right? So really compact, simple, sleek, and ideal for mobile services. Other features that you may have noticed is that it accepts chip and PIN, and that was one of the features that our previous product did not have. It also accepts contactless payments. That's the tap and pay that you may see at some supermarkets, at the gas stations, at the fast food restaurants. And that's a really efficient way of accepting payments. You just tap the credit card, and it's typically for smaller item tickets, right? But it really helps in speeding up that checkout line. And of course, the device is wireless. And so wherever you have a Wi-Fi connection, or you can also hotspot your mobile phone, you'll be able to use the phone.
You know, Naja, our plans come right in time.
Yes.
Because imagine the new CVP, right?
Yes.
So you marry the new CVP with your hotspot or your dongle or your LTE device or your 5 gigs or 10 gigs of data on your postpaid phone, along with your EasyPay 2.0, man, you're in business.
Right?
You're in business.
Absolutely.
You're in business.
Absolutely.
So tell me, how do I qualify for an EasyPay terminal?
So there's really not a qualification process. It's a product that's available to any business customer. You would, of course, have to have an account with RBC and fill out the necessary paperwork, and you're in business. It's a very easy setup, and it's available for you just as soon as you establish an account with us.
So definitely, you have to have your due diligence.
Yes.
What do you call those now? Your key documents, inclusive of your business license,
yes.
to open a business account.
Yes.
And there's probably a minimum that you should put on your account in order to open a business account. And then you'll be able to get an EasyPay 2.0 device. This is powerful. And then you have your e-commerce gateway.
Yeah, now that's a real game changer, right?
Tell us more about this.
So first of all, e-commerce is the ability to have your merchandise online. You have a website where customers can go, they can see your product, they can see the prices, and they can check out. Now that's the full gamut. Before we even get into that, this is my personal plea to businesses, especially as we operate curbside, to please put your products online. Whether it's by way of a website or by Facebook, just let us know what you have in store, because at this point, we don't have the ability to go in store. The curbside process is not ideal. It can be very frustrating. For example, if I go to a business and I ask for a product, the salesperson brings it out, and if I don't like the product, I say, well, let me see what else you have. And it can become a very frustrating process. And so to alleviate that, my suggestion, my plea is to just put your products online. You don't necessarily have to have the full checkout process, but at least let me see what you have in store. And then, like I said, if you really want to up your game, then you do the whole gamut. And so you put your products online, and granted, it takes time to do that. There is a sacrifice involved in putting all of your products and services online, making sure that you have the correct photos of them, the correct description, prices, and then, of course, the ability to check out. But it is such a game changer. And the main benefit of that is that you essentially have a business that is open 24/7.
Come on, you sleep and making money.
Exactly. And, you know, I like to share this example. I do have a daughter that's schooling virtually. One evening, late at night, I had to print her documents for the following day. Got the alert to say my printer is low on ink. And so that evening, I went online looking for a business that provided ink. Found one, had an e-commerce or website, was able to check out. They told me if I put in the order by 9 o'clock that day, I would have the items delivered same day. So yes, 11 o'clock at night, I made that purchase. At 10 o'clock, my doorbell was ringing with ink. And let me tell you the power of that. That particular business, in terms of distance from where I live, was pretty far away. So if I had to go in my car and drive there, I probably would have passed 2 to 3 other businesses and stopped there first to purchase my ink. But because they had that e-commerce system available to me, I chose them. And at the end of the day, mind you, that ink may have been more expensive.
But it's accessibility, right?
Exactly.
It's accessibility and convenience. And, you know, I'll tell you, that's what we offer at BTC. You know, definitely our business partners are offering that accessibility. But I think you raise a good point, because imagine getting the right branding company to brand your material and brand your website. Imagine getting BTC fire speeds with the wonderful new CVP, and topping that off with your Royal Bank EasyPay and e-commerce solutions. You are in business.
Absolutely.
Cooking with gas.
Cooking with gas, not oil, right? And so there's something that you have. You have your RBC multi-pay.
Yes.
Okay, tell us a bit more about the multi-pay.
So that is similar. It's a merchant service device that allows for card acceptance. The unique thing about multi-pay is that it's really ideal for professionals or businesses that are sharing resources. The easiest way for me to demonstrate is to give you an example, for example, of a beauty salon. So let's say you visit a full service beauty salon. There's a barber, a hairstylist, a nail tech, and they share that space. And they also share a receptionist. And so what typically may happen is that person's paying cash, or each person has their own merchant machine at the checkout area. So with the multi-pay, there's one machine, and the receptionist is just able to put in the code of the nail tech, the barber, the hairstylist, and it automatically goes to their account the following day.
It makes it clean. It makes it clean.
And it saves money, right? In this day of consolidation, everyone is trying to consolidate their expenses and share on costs. It's really an ideal product.
It is.
RBC indeed has the business solutions you need. RBC in conjunction with BTC now, you are definitely having a one-stop shop. Ms. Adley, we thank you so much for coming in studio with us today, sharing these tips, sharing this advice, and definitely please check out RBC for your e-commerce business needs. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Perks of BTC's new business mobile plans. Every new line added includes a free new smartphone packed with unlimited local calls, international and roaming minutes, plus local and roaming data to stay connected to your business. Sign up and switch now for as low as $49.99 per month and get handset discounts for life. Have your team do more and work smarter on the best 4G LTE network with BTC's new business mobile plans. Conditions apply.
As business leaders, we learn to forecast for our businesses. When we try to predict market trends, we hope for the best outcome. However, as much as we forecast and create projections, there are some events for which we just can't prepare. Sometimes because it never occurred to us, sometimes because we just thought it couldn't happen to me. Unfortunately, when disaster strikes, it does not discriminate by size or even type of business. It can happen whether you expect it or not. Fortunately, you are not alone. We at C&W Business can help you prepare for disasters. With our disaster recovery as a service solution, we'll ensure your business is back in operation fast. Because being prepared is the best strategy.
Andre, Naja, I don't know about you, but I have definitely enjoyed all that we've heard today, from the nuggets to the different opportunities that we have in technology, the different opportunities that we have in e-commerce on the side of RBC. This has been absolutely fantastic. I'm going to come over to each of you. Tell me how you're feeling right now. We're on the final leg of a 5-leg race, and this has definitely been fun-filled. It's been exciting. It's been educational. It's been so many things. Andre?
Well, thanks very much, Darren. I think the speakers were fantastic today, as usual. It was really good to take away what Ray J had said. One of the things that really struck out to me is how he splits his brand between himself and his Ray J brand. So that was quite interesting.
It was.
But reaching out to his people, don't be afraid to reach out to the people that are going to, that could give you assistance. Mentors, things like that. It's interesting. It's the same. We hear a lot of similarities from a lot of the speakers, and I think Ray J took that to the extent. So wonderful set of speakers today, as usual. So drawing it to a conclusion today is fantastic on that note.
Naja, I'm certain that your small business partners and also your small and medium business customers have been truly, truly inspired by some of the motivational talks that we've had, some of the information that they would have received, and also your colleagues in the rest of the region, inclusive of the South Caribbean. Tell me about your thoughts and how you feel as the manager of small and medium businesses for BTC.
Yeah. So I'm very proud of what we were able to achieve with this virtual conference. And I'd like to just address my small business customers. Understanding that we at BTC and in the flow business region know and appreciate that there is nothing small about operating a business. And that is one of the reasons, well, the main reason why we were able to develop the CVP as well as bring this innovation conference to them. And I'm just hoping that they get the information that they need in order for them to be able to maneuver through this particular time. And everybody talks about how it's a scary time to be in business, or it's a scary time for everybody who's actually experiencing this right now. And so we just want them to know that the more that this COVID pandemic brings, the more uncertainty that BTC and flow business is going to bring more support and more relief. So just stick with us. We're here for you, and we're happy to be here.
Let's just give our viewers, those of course who are in the Bahamas, the information that they are able to use in order to access services provided by BTC. This is going to be our final opportunity to do so as a part of this conference series.
So we have our small business consultants, as well as if you want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 302-7700, and you can also email us at btc-enterprise@btcbahamas.com. Please call again, 302-7700, btc-enterprise@btcbahamas.com.
And make certain that you know that your consultation is free.
It is.
So definitely, if you want to learn more about the CVPs that was just launched on the show, these are fantastic opportunities for you to transition your business. But also, if you want to see or determine how you upgrade, how you do add-ons, I'm certain that one of those business partners are going to be able to provide you some support. Also, there's opportunity here, Andre, right, for collaboration. You know, drop your number, your email in the chat. Of course, we have some of our business partners in the small and medium business space at BTC who are literally in this chat waiting for your questions or waiting to book an appointment with you. And so that's key. And also we have businessmen and businesswomen who are in this chat waiting to collaborate, not only on a national level, but also on a regional level. Andre, what's next? What do we have in store for our viewers for the rest of 2020 and of course coming up on 2021?
Well, you know, I think we're going to have to all work throughout this pandemic. So we're really looking forward to assisting our businesses, our business partners, in how they're going to cope for the balance of this year. I don't think it's going to be much different, you know, for between now and the end of the year. We're certainly hoping that 2021 is going to be a lot different in terms of the economy. BTC is there, as Nasha said, you know, for all of our businesses, any way that we can help them, assist them. That's what we're there for. I think that this new CVP shows our dedication to them. So we are really pushing this CVP to bring some relief and certainly allows a lot of our customers to make that pivot, to make them relevant, their businesses to stay relevant so they're able to survive. That's the major focus for the balance of this year. And we hope to take that and springboard that, you know, have that effect springboarded into 2021. This pandemic, I believe, is here to stay. The companies that will survive are the companies that are going to make a change. You know, I don't think it's any more the status quo. I think that those companies that really look forward, and I'm hoping that those companies that certainly tuned in to our innovation series, 5 weeks. I mean, 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
You know, excellent speakers. I'm hoping that they take something back that is able to allow them to make that pivot, to make that transition, to make their businesses a lot more relevant, certainly to remain a lot more competitive and propel them, or at the very least, allow them to get over this hurdle so they could remain in business, keep their people employed, you know, drive the economy, drive the Bahamian economy. BTC is here for that, not only on the B2B side, but on the consumer side as well. I mean, this is what BTC is here for. We've been here for more than 100 years. We'll be here for, you know, the next 100 years. And we're here for all of our customers.
And, you know, our viewers can access, and those who might just be joining us today can access all of the shows for the last 5 weeks via the My BTC YouTube page. So we encourage people to go, you know, listen again to some of the speakers, you know, get a refresher, get an additional moment of, you know, a reminder that it is possible. You know, Michelle Hoskins sticks with me every step of the way. You know, every morning that you get up, you decide your destiny. We have some people that we need to thank, Andre. I mean, there's been so many people behind this.
Yes, yes, you know, and allow me to take a big breath.
A big breath, yeah.
You know, it's interesting that you to come to the end of such a, you know, an action-packed and power-packed.
It seems to me like you don't even know how to come to an end of this.
You know, but 5 weeks, you know, it has been so fantastic, and it's a bit sad that we come to the end of this journey. But you know, I'm certainly pleased myself that we have imparted so much. I mean, inspired so many businesses to do better. So in that regard, you know, I think the first set of people that we really need to that I need to thank are the speakers. I mean, my last count, there were 29 speakers.
Wow.
Might be wrong one, you know.
I've interviewed 29 speakers.
29 speakers. That says a lot for what, you know, what we've brought to the community and certainly to the small business community. So local participants, you know, the regional as well as the international. You say that your favorite is Dr. Hoskins, you know. My favorite is would probably have to be I shouldn't really say a favorite. But the one who probably made the biggest impression on me was probably Joya Cousin.
Yeah, she was fantastic.
And I know that was probably Naja's favorite as well. But you know, I'm sure that each speaker left, you know, imparted some inspirational words that people took here, you know, personally and for their business to make a difference. So certainly need to thank all of the speakers. Secondly, certainly have to thank Carol Barnett and her team and the marketing team. Fantastic job on putting the InKnoVation conference together. It was interesting when we realized during the pandemic that, you know, perhaps we're not going to be able to have a live show, you know, back at Baha Mar, and what could we do? Well, didn't faze Carol one bit. You know,
No.
she was able to pivot. You know, she was able to pivot. Her and her team.
She has a PhD in pivoting.
So she was able to do that and bring this, you know, show to fruition. So really got to thank her and her team. Next, the B2B team, you know, of which Naj is a part. Certainly all of the assistance and the help that they have provided, not only for the show, but, you know, for the business community. Got to thank you guys, you know, at the bottom of my heart. And like I said before, it is not me, you know, it's a team effort behind this, as with most things. And I'm blessed by having a great team behind me, as well as the staff within B2B to really push the whole business effort forward. So, you know, thanks to that team as well. The movie group, I mean, you heard Mr. Wallace. He made that pivot as well. That's the reason why we're having this show.
Yeah.
So to all of you guys, you know, thanks very much for bringing this, you know, allowing BTC to bring all these wonderful speakers and experiences and these inspirational thoughts to the community, you know. So really got to thank the movie group as well.
And facilitating the proper social distancing in studio.
Right.
I mean, you walk through the door.
Can be done.
Exactly, it can be done.
You know, and they're doing it the right way. And finally, you know, throughout this whole journey, Naja, you know, and I know, and everybody knows, couldn't have done it without you, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Couldn't have done it without you, Darren. You know that you need to take a bow on this. But,
Awesome.
You know, it's really a pleasure to have you here and facilitating this. And like I say, could not have been done without you. What you bring to the table is a fantastic rapport with all of our speakers. You're extremely engaging, and I think that the businesses see that what you bring out of the speakers as well makes it a whole lot more entertaining, and not only entertaining, but allows them to bring a lot more of their experience out as well. So I really thank you for that as well.
Thank you for having me and you know, deciding that I should do this again for another year. Definitely. And you know, thank you, Andre, because I think, you know, good leadership is very, very important. And having been a part of BTC, I think it's about 18 months now, or maybe 16 months, you know, we stopped counting. But the level of to which your leadership with Carol, working with this team to bring this type of conference to a company like BTC speaks not only about engagement of our customers, but the changing of the mentality of how small and medium businesses function, not only given technology, but given solutions. And I think we are proud of your leadership in the B2B space to bring about something like this. This is definitely cutting edge. You know, last year it was cutting edge in in space.
Yeah.
And this year, Naja, it is cutting edge virtually. Before we go to your final words, I'm going to ask Naja, it's over.
It's over. It's bittersweet. It's over. I feel like we succeeded at doing what we wanted to do. I think we brought impactful speakers. I think the messages were timely. And I know that my businesses were able to get the information that they need to be able to go forward during this particular time. So I'm happy with what happened, what we were able to do. And I look forward to next year with you.
There you go. Andre, you have just a minute to speak directly to your customers, to speak to the small and medium businesses out there, to speak to the people that have supported us during the entire 5 weeks that we've been here. What would you like to say to them?
Well, I don't think I need a minute, Darren. I mean, we've said so much already. Yeah. But, to the small business community, we've put on a wonderful show. We're just hoping that you were able to take advantage of this. This has been a thoroughly enjoyable experience. I did have certainly apprehensions at the beginning talking about a virtual show, but, the experience shows over this past 5 weeks that it has been fantastic. So we are here for you. We're just hoping that you have taken some of those nuggets of information to make your business relevant so that you are able to compete in this global pandemic. I am very confident that we're going to get over this pandemic and build back up the Bahamian economy, but we need you to be a part of that as well. And when you are a part of it and BTC is a part of it, we are all going to be successful as business persons here in the Bahamas. So thank you very much as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, I live my life by a saying. It says, measure not life by the hopes and enjoyments of this world, but by the preparation it makes for one another, looking forward to what you shall be, rather than backward to what you have been. Today is a new day. And today is a day that I remember the words of Michelle Hoskins, who says, you wake up and you decide your destiny. You might have been sitting for the last 5 weeks wondering whether or not you can make the next step to move into your business. And I think our speakers have given us sufficient nuggets to say that it is not next time, but the time is now. The time is now for you to prepare. The time is now for you to organize your thoughts. The time is now for you to redefine yourself and make certain that you remain with the brand that you know yourself to be versus the brand or label that somebody has put on you. It has been an amazing show, and it's been a wonderful 5 weeks to be in your homes, in your office spaces, or wherever it is that you're streaming from. I'm K. Darren Turnquist here at BTC, representing not only BTC, but all of our flow markets. We thank you for joining us. We thank you for being our customers. And to those of you out there who are potential customers, we say, don't delay, stop in and get the opportunity of a lifetime with speeds that you've never imagined. And hopefully you will allow us to be a part of changing not only your business, but changing your life. Thank you. And I'll see you in 2021, should they have me. Have a wonderful time and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
BTC's InKnoVation Conference is back. And this year, we're giving you 5 opportunities to get in the know. Just starting a business or need help adapting to these trying times? Then join us every Friday during the month of October from 10 to noon, where we will be live online helping you discover new ideas and solutions from local and international experts to help you get your business moving despite the new normal. Register for free at btcbahamas.com/InKnoVation Conference. During every broadcast, there will be chances to win exclusive prizes that will push your business forward. We can't wait to share with you.